I just realized my mic was on mute that whole time. I could have actually been saying things. I know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, I need... Hopefully you'll be able to see enough of the Blender screen, because the Blender has updated a lot since I've last used it, so I'm pretty familiar with it, and I do want to test out some things I found on YouTube for the newer Blender version, and specifically to make the handle for our teacup. If you're not familiar with Blender, I'll try and go as slow as I can. The thing is, I need to remember that I actually need to say what I'm doing. You can't just read my mind. But, you know, if you have questions or you want me to stop and redo something, please let me know. There are no stupid questions, especially if you've never used Blender or you've never used a 3D software like this before, because I know there's other ones that people have used. As far as I know, it's pretty transferable across different software, so if you've used something similar to Blender, that knowledge is still transferable to Blender. It may just be a case of different placement or different hotkeys and things of that nature, but at least that's what I've been told. But at least I actually just want to see if it comes up. We won't do anything right now. How is that looking? Is it pretty clear? Actually, maybe let me go to editor. I might middle it out a bit. And then I'm going to move this here so I can still see the chat and everything. Now, I won't have my PNG tuber on for this, only because you kind of need to be able to see everything, and I don't think there would be a spot to put my PNG tuber that wouldn't cover important. Like every little bit is important. We're not going to go into every single thing. I'm just going to focus on the things that were going to be helpful for making the teacup and the saucer. Now, I've allocated probably about 3 hours. We may need less time, we may need more time. We'll see how we go. But I've allocated 3 hours for this, and hopefully there'll be enough time. But we'll start in probably about 5 minutes or so. I can keep Zora Domain playing in the background. I don't know if it's too loud for you guys. Might turn it down on my end. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Oh! Aww! They're so cute! Thank you, Sina. I forgot I got that! The Cozy Cafe. The creator was so lovely. And they were like, yep, it should work with Streamlabs. And I was like, excellent. Wait, hold on. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. How's everyone doing? Oh, there's an... Is it the forest temple? Is that the other one I really, really love? Oh, I do love that one. What about Spirit? Yeah. Nah. Something about Zora's Domain, man. Truly peak. Oops. I've clicked the wrong one. Actually, how is the light source in rendered? Okay, it's pretty good. Material. And we can do X-ray. Hold on, I'm just going to quickly... Where is it? Address stream take, here we go. Boom. Alright, let people know that Blender class is starting. And I'm just waiting for chat to connect so I'm not missing people's messages. Boom. Alright. I turned down the music. Hopefully it's still, like, you can kind of hear it, but it's not overpowering my voice. So that way you can hear my instructions, whether they're going to be helpful or not. We'll see. Alright. First things first. We're going to delete the cube. So just right click it and then click delete. Otherwise you can press X, but I'll try and do things by clicking and using the tabs before jumping straight into the hotkeys. Now, what we want to do next is click add, go to mesh, and we're going to input a cylinder. Now, I personally like using a cylinder, but other tutorials may use like a circle plane or even start with the cube, but for my personal preference, I like using cylinders for anything that are like cups and bottles and anything of that nature. I find it easier. I find it, I don't know, I find it turns out a bit better. Next thing that we want to do is go into edit mode. You can press tab usually to change, but it never worked for me, but maybe that's like an old version of Blender. Now we want to actually move our object. So on the left hand side you should see all these little tab things that you can click on. You want to click on move, which is the third one down. If we want to like want to go back into like the selection, just click select box. But for moving the object, you want to click move, and you want to do this in edit mode, because if you do it in object mode, it's actually going to affect the cursor, which is in the center. Basically, it's going to, like, if you plan to animate, it will mess it up, essentially, TLDR, but we don't have to get too bogged down. But I want to have you guys get into the habit of moving objects in edit mode, so if you choose to animate down the line, you already have that habit. My number pad's not working. Okay. I'm going to select the X plane. You usually can use the key on the number pad, but it doesn't seem to be working. Okay, weird. And you can see if it's lined up. I'd say about there should be fine. And to scroll, you use your mouse wheel. Now, if you want to move, you can't drag normally. You actually have to hold down the mouse wheel, and that's how you move. And if you want to scroll scroll across, you hold shift, hold your mouse wheel, and move like that. Alright. Now, the next thing we want to do is click on the top right. You see these little boxes. We want to do toggle X-ray, and then we also want to click viewpoint shading wireframe. So it makes it invisible, so you can see things on the front, but also on the back. So it makes it a bit easier to see when you're scaling things, when you're extruding things, that it's happening on both sides, which is going to be a big help. All right, first things first, I want to delete the top face, because what we're going to do is make a lip, and then we're going to kind of make it go down and make the inside of the cup. This is, I guess, if you want to have an a transparent teacup, it's going to look really nice, and it's going to look almost like a real teacup. But I used this method for when I was making the low poly bottle, which I haven't gotten the animation to work as of yet for Twitch, but once I do, you'll be able to see it. All right, going back to the X plane. Next thing we want to do, personally, you could just select the bottom face, but I actually like to select the edges. So back beside edit mode, you have these different options where you can select vertices, select edges, and select faces, and it will change the object as such. So if you're wondering like, oh, I can't select an edge, make sure you look up here and see and click select it, and make sure you're selecting edges. The next thing you want to do, and so we want to scale this bottom here. So instead of holding shift and selecting every individual edge, what you can do is hold shift and alt and just select one of the other edges, and it will select all those edges that are beside it. Then clicking X, press S for Sam, and you can move as such. If you find it's like going in a weird direction, just click one of the planes that you want to scale to or scale along, which is like Z, Y, and X. So we want to scale along Y because we want to narrow this down, like so. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to do a loop cut. So you want to do Control R, and you want to have it so it goes along the center, and then you're just going to bring it down just about there. There we go. So what happens, the reason why we're doing that, see how that changes it? And we're making I guess like the foot of the teacup. I actually don't know what that part is, but you know how that it's got that like ring at the bottom. So when it sits on the saucer, it sits like right in it, and it's like a puzzle piece. I'm just going to scale that a bit. We're just going to do a kind of rough sizing of it. We don't have to be pinpoint accurate right now. We're just going to get the rough size of what the object we're trying to make. All right, now we're going to adjust the top. Same thing, Shift Alt, and we'll select those those edges. I'm going to scale that in a bit, and then we're going to actually move it down. So you can hold onto the Z or Z arrow, and it'll move it along that plane only. I'll go about there. Yeah. Oh. What I might need to do is on the bottom. Maybe on the outside, actually. So I'm just fixing up the cup so it's actually more rounded. No, that wasn't. I actually started learning Blender in high school. Oh god, what have I done? What am I doing? And I kind of I only stopped using it because the thing is, you need like a computer that can, basically a gaming computer is what you need to run Blender, because it will blow up your PC. Okay, it runs super yeah, sorry, I'm just focusing on the cup. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I actually wanted to relearn it because I wanted to do a really cool animation for like a Twitch redeem. So it was for Hydrate, and I wanted to have like a spinning bottle, which I'm still working on. I need to re-render it so it has a transparent background, and then I need to use another software to make that animation, basically. All right. The next thing we want to do is actually add some loop cups where we want the handles. So you want to have 2 loop cuts for the bottom of the handle. Next one, 2 loop cups for the top of the handle. Actually, no. Control R to... No, not rotate. What was it? Control X? Yeah, Control X to delete. About there. Beautiful. I want to do that. There we go. That's looking pretty good. There we go. I wanted to bring that in a bit more. Very teacuppy, yes. I like it. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the lip as well as the inside of the cup. So we're kind of going to be doing it in one move. So instead of scaling, we're going to extrude. So you want to press E for elephant, and then you want to select, is it X? No, not X, Y, Z. So that's going up. Nope. Z, up a little bit, and you want to select S to scale in just a touch, and then I'm going to bring it down. I was meant to scale inwards. There we go. Looking good, looking good. Extrude again. Extruding downwards, and we're scaling that in. So see how when we're in the wireframe, you can see that we've got that lip coming inwards. And I'm going to extrude again, select Z so it goes only along the Z axis, and go as far down you want for like that bottom. I will go a little bit like just before it hits the bottom, and then we'll scale that in like so. Now this does not have a face, so what you want to do is right click and where is it? Oh, this meant to be like a fill. Okay, just press F and it'll fill that space. Looking good. I just want to have a look at the render. Wrong one. Excellent. Oops. No, that and that. Yep, there we go. Going to select the face, and I'm just going to adjust that down slightly. Whoop, too far. Just down a little, just a little bit. There we go. Not too shabby, if I say so myself. Might actually... Oops. Just a little. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny little lip. That's looking good. I might actually change... We might actually delete that face, and I might actually just change it out a little. Just to delete those faces. And then we want to select the inside of the vertices. So on the inside, not vertices, edges. I'm going to extrude inwards. What have I done? There we go. Extrude. No. There we go, that's what I wanted. And then I'll fill that. Yeah, that's better. I like that. Beautiful. All right, now for the handle, we're going to obviously have it on the side, but it's okay if it's a little off center because we can always adjust the camera and things of that nature to make it look like it's on the side of the cup. But if you like, just select the Y plane and it will go to a side view. And then you want to select two faces at the bottom, hold shift, select two faces. Did I say at the bottom? I meant at the top of like where we made those loop cuts. I'm going to change actually to out of the wireframe because otherwise it will select something in the back. And then select two faces on the bottom, right click, delete those faces. So you see it's made like a hole onto the cup. Now we'll go to edges, go back to the Y view, select the edges, I'm just going to change to here, extrude those out just a touch, about there. And then we're going to right click and I wanted to try, no, where was it? I want to bridge this. Where is it? Here we go. Bridge edge loops. There we are. And then we want to go to the number of cuts. So you see how it's adding all those cuts? Ooh, I actually kind of like that look. Ooh, that looks actually kind of cool. Anyway, and then we want to change the interpolation to blend surface. So see how that's making it jut out now? Beautiful. I wonder if I can... What happens if I do that? I want to just test something. Okay, yeah, it makes it really low poly. I just want to have a little blend. I really love the look of that. That's kind of cool. If I see. I see why. Oh. Sorry, I went too far. Extrude that again. And bridge. About 8. I quite like having a bit of 8. Just this. I don't know what that does. All right. Ooh. Ah, I see what I've done. We need to have... how do we... actually... Oh. So I'm just kind of experimenting. I wonder why it's doing that. I went too far. Bridge the edge loops. Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to do more artsy streams. There was actually something someone asked about. Oh wait, what's the merge factor? What? I don't know what that's changing. Ah, that's cool. Alright, next thing I want to do is actually bring that top handle in, top part of the handle in a bit more. Gonna add a few loop cuts to there and to the other side as well. Don't want to select all of the edges. I just want to select these guys. Whoop. I think was it control? It was. If you hold shift and control, it like selects. Oopsies. Oh. Oh, I see what it's been. I see what it's doing. Okay, I've added too many cuts, that's why. Alright, maybe not 8 then. So it's actually, I want to test something. I just want to. Oh. Wait. I want to see if we have to actually extrude this. All the tutorials. Oh my god, what am I doing? want to see, because I always extrude it, but I want to see if we bridge it without extruding. No, that's fine. That happens to me all the time. So bridge them. Ah, that's why, because it will just do like a flat. Oh god. What is happening? Ooh. Oh, I see. Okay, I see why they extrude it. Okay. Well, I want to have... Okay. So usually... Well, it depends on the teacup. So the top ones are usually a bit more outwards compared... No. Why? So I'll have that about there. And then the bottom one... about there. I'm just testing something. And then bridge. Boom. I kinda like this. I like this curve. So what we will do then, I just want to test. We can bring that back in. Don't have back, actually. Oop, I went too far. Damn it. Bridge that again. Might not add as many, maybe about 6. Yeah. What happens if we do blend surface? No, I kind of like the curve. Because they always did a blend surface, but I'm kind of liking the curve. Of course, you can do like a normal handle if you prefer, but I'm liking the curve. Okay, and then what I might do, so we'll go back to that top one. Select all of those, please. Not scale, what am I doing? Move that back in. Wait, what are you connected to? I'm just gonna hide that in there. Just don't worry about it. It's fine, I'm sure. Okay, so we've made a face there. How does this look in wireframe? Okay, it doesn't look too bad. No? You don't wanna... Okay, I don't wanna have those selected. I'm just gonna deselect that. I wanna see if we... Oh! Gonna add some more loop cuts. Just to smooth this. select... Actually, wait, yeah. That's okay. What I can do, I'll put this one to the side. Oh no, wait, I need to grab this. Press G to grab, G to grab, and I'll put that to the side. And then I can show cylinder. And then we're going back to object mode. And then you want to move that above the plane, like about there. So it's like kind of sits on top of the axis. I don't know if you have Blender, so I will. And then wanted to do Control R, and you want to add a loop cut towards the bottom. This is going to be like simple, and we can adjust as we go along. And then you want to select all the bottom edges, and we want to scale that out just a touch to make the foot of the teacup. Oh, we also deleted the top face. Excellent. Back to selecting our edges. Scale that out a bit. Let's scale the bottom part in. And then we're going to add loop cuts where we want our handle. So you want to have 2 for the bottom part of the handle and then 2 for the top part of the handle. Like so. Now we want to make the interior of our cup. So you want to go to X-ray mode, selecting... Yes, absolutely. And it will also be on my YouTube as well. Scale that in. Oh, no, sorry. Extrude first. Extrude up just a touch along the Z-axis. Scale that in a touch. And then we're going to extrude again. Downwards. About there. Scale that puppy in. I actually extruded again. Went a bit further. Scaled. Right click and then fill, and it'll just fill it with a face. There we go. And then I was experimenting with making a handle, which I might actually, instead of, I just want to test something. I'm on info select, what am I? No, I'm not. Dissolve them. What happens if I just... Oh, I see what I've done. Because that was a wireframe. Go back to here. Get out of that. Let me select our edges. Oop. Straight along Y. Then we right click, bridge them. Going to add a few loop cuts. Actually, I wonder if I... Actually, I'm going to extrude it a little bit further and then bridge it and just see if that changes. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so I had it too close before, that's why. Then we'll move that in. Just a touch. Control, is it Control Alt? No. What did I do last time? Shift Alt, but it does all of that. That ain't half bad. It's a chunky cup. Going to select that again. Bring that in a little bit. Yeah. Now I want to... Nope. Oop. Let's wonder why they've added those there. Okay, what I might do... Hold shift, move in a little bit and see what's going on. What are you... Can I delete those edges? Okay, nope. Undelete those. Ah, they're... Oh, I see. Weird. I have no idea what I've done, but I'm just trying to work with it. Okay. Might keep working on this one. Alright, next thing we want to do... No, it's not material, is it properties? Where was it? Modifiers. We want to add... Is it subdivision? Here we go, subdivide. There we go, look at that. So it smooths it out, basically. Ooh, that's kind of a cool effect. Sorry, I just wanted to see. Whoops. That ain't half bad. But especially considering I'm using a new method I didn't even know was a thing. The hell is happening in there? Shade smooth, baby. Yeah. Very nice. Actually... boom. I have no idea what happened to the mesh. It's gone a bit weird, but all in all, that's pretty good. Alright, going back to object mode. Yeah, that's so weird looking. Alright. Next thing I want to do is actually, I wanted to add the material, and then we're going to... Oh, was it shading? Yes, here we are. Excellent. Where is it? No, I want to add, so you click Shift A. Is it glossy? Yeah, glossy. Here we are. I'll actually... No, because that's just going to do a color. And we want to go to surface. There we go. See? Made it nice and glossy. And then you can increase the roughness. You can lower it, make it like super metallic. Now the reason why I'm doing glossy and not glass is because when we do glass, I believe it instantly makes it transparent, I believe. But again, I'm just going off knowledge from what I remember. I want to cut that link, move that to the side, and then we're going to connect this. So if you go to rendered, or maybe it doesn't. Oh. Hush my mouth. And we can also change the color. Ooh. I'm actually gonna like that. Accidentally made something pretty cool looking. Also, I'm in the material, so that's why everything looks like this. So if we go to rendered, it will show what it will look like once we've rendered it. Just playing around with some things. I actually think I like the glossy one more. Then we'll change the color. Beautiful. Ain't looking half bad. Then we'll go back to the modeling. So it's not going to show the color here because we're not in rendered. So if you select rendered, it will show what the color is and what your material you've used. So rendered just pretty much means it's showing what it will look like once you've rendered the image. Material will just show the material you've selected. So if you select like a glass or you select something more metallic, it's going to show the material but not show it what you've adjusted it to. So if you want to see what it's adjusted to, you want to select rendered, because that's what's going to show your end product, if that makes sense. Alright, next thing we're going to do is make our saucer. Oops, what am I doing? So we're going to select add. We're going to add... I'm actually going to do a circle. I'm going to click grab. I'm going to go there. Fine, I'll do it the proper way. Do about there. There we go, and then we're going to scale that puppy out. Yeah, we'll do it like that, and then we'll do... Yeah. And then... trying to have it as like close to the size of the base of the cup. The cupper? The cupper. Can probably move that down just a scooch. Select A to select everything, so when you move it, it won't mess with the mesh too much. Now what was the thickness? Oh, I just remember we just kind of no, I don't remember what it was called. There was one where you could like add thickness to an object, and I can't remember what it was. And then we're gonna go this, and then we're gonna shade smooth. Beautiful. Stunning, darling. And then we're gonna go back to our material, add a new material, go back to shading, and you can also move in here as well. So, you know, if you want to have a bit of a better look, you can absolutely do that. Right click, and then we want to, no, was it right click? It was right click. Cut links. Cut that link. So whenever you basically cut, because the material output is what's going to be shown, whenever you cut anything, it will go black. So if that happens, don't worry, don't panic. It's perfectly normal. Shift A to add, and then we're going to do glossy again. And you can actually use this. There we go. Lower the roughness down just a tad. That ain't half bad. Ah, the next thing I want to do is actually go to the light source. Oh, okay, I was going to say there should be nodes. Might do a bit of warmer light. We can increase the strength of it. Oh! We also want to add a background. Now, I don't know why you're still like that. Why are you like that? Go back into here. Go back into the shading. That's not what I meant. Shading. Oh, it's pretty dark. That's probably why. There we go. Better. That's much better. Alright. Go back to modeling. Go back to objector mode. Now, when we did backgrounds, we literally just got a mesh plane. We scaled that puppy up as big as can be. And then moved it like at least below your object. Because then when you go into camera view, see? You've got like a... Oh wait, no, it's moving this. I need to move the camera. You've got like a little background. That's how we did it. That's what we were taught. That is not what I meant. I meant this. Yep, there we go. And then what we can do with the plane, we can do the same thing that we've done before. You can add a new material. I'm arc radient and peep in the stream. Yeah, hey, thank you. Yeah, we go back into our shading and we can change the color. If you want like a different texture, you can absolutely do that. There's like so many textures, and there's people who've also made like kind of custom textures. So if we do BSDF, so yeah, you've got metallic, you've got glossy, there's translucent, transparency. But right now I'm just going to do a really pretty bare bones background. God, I'm losing my words, guys. I say that's not too bad. And you can absolutely play around. So if you want to do more of the glass, or if you want to have more metallic, absolutely play around with it. Now, the next thing I want to do is we want to render our image. So you want to select render, and then you want to select render image. Now, it's going to render the image where you've placed your camera. So I've placed it here. So it's pretty close to it. I don't know how long this is going to take. Time 50 seconds? I don't know. I probably could have moved out a bit further, but that ain't half bad. I have no idea if it completed it or if it's still going. I'm used to when it's like rendering images, not images, animations. Oh, I also forgot to save. Make sure you always save. Teacup. There we go. Oh no, I didn't do it. I don't know. Okay, let me click out of that. We'll render it again. Render image. Oh. It does. Sorry. There we go. Alright, I believe that's rendering. I don't know why this isn't full screen. Why? Usually there's stuff on the bottom that will... What have I done? That's all good. Alright. Well, this is our image. So, play around in Blender. Oh, God, I didn't mean to do that. Play around in Blender and, yeah, show me what you guys do. And I've got the Blender class channel in Discord, so post your work. And if there's like an object that you specifically want to learn how to make in Blender, you can absolutely do that. I'm just going to click save again just to make sure. Save. Excellent. I accidentally exited out of the whole thing. Now there's just a black screen. There we go. Oh. There we go. Alright. Well, I think that will be all for now. I'll just keep the music playing. I really like the music. But yeah, this will go straight to my YouTube and it will be in the archive as well. So you can always re-watch it. And if you have any further questions, always reach out. Yeah, it's finished, Nati. I'm sorry. But we tried a few different methods and I think it worked pretty well. Now this is just for like a really simple one. I don't know how in depth we want to go with it. I thought we'll do like pretty low poly, pretty simple looking objects. But if you want something a bit more in depth, I'll watch the VOD. Yeah, absolutely. And please, if you make the objects, post them in the Discord. I want to see them. And then and I can post them on my TikTok and be like, this is what my students made. Oh, that'd be so cute. Guys, we got to do that. Yeah. Well, I remember you saying you wanted to learn Blender. It's super, super, super easy to pick up. It's just, trust me, first time opening it, you're going to feel overwhelmed, but you'll get used to it. And, you know, you will, when you're making objects, you're going to have happy accidents. And, you know, even when following tutorials, it may look a little different to what they've done, but, you know, you may like it. It's like pottercraft. Exactly. It's like pottery. It's like any hobby, really. But that was pretty good. It was about 2 hours. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. What what I might do, if you want, guys, I can show you what I've been working on. Where am I? Where am I? Where is my spinning bottle? Here we are. I may need to reselect the window. Oh no! The fuck? Why is this here? Yeah, I don't want to be an image editor. There we are. Oof, yep, the stream's probably going to be lagging. But this is what I've been making. Where's my UI? What has happened? Oh bugger, what have I done? My UI is gone for some reason. Legitimately, it's not meant to be. Anyway, this is what I've been working on. And what is happening? Oh, wait, okay, there's that stuff. Okay, where's the stuff over here? Nothing selected. What do you mean? Is it because I'm not in object mode? What? There's meant to, what have I done? You? What? The fuck? Oh, here we are. I think you were guys, I think you were looking at this one, not what I was seeing, which was weirdness. Okay, so render, that's what we want. Yeah, output metadata. No, where was it? Format. No. Maybe it was in render. Multi-layer. Yes, I want multi-layer. Because that's gonna... Don't worry, you guys. We guys... You made it! Show me. Guys, you gotta put it in the Discord. Don't worry about any of this. This is just me doing stuff. Is it multi-layer or is it image? Trying to remember. Maybe it was image. I'm basically trying to have all the frames separate. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Display. Not sure why it's not showing the object. Okay. I'm gonna go to the... one where I've got what? Okay, nope. Render result is nothing, so we're not going there. I don't know what's happened. Film. Yes, transparent. Display. Hmm. Okay, so it is there. Okay. So why? What's happening here? So what's happening here that's making it? What? I'm very confused. Okay. RGBA. I'm pretty sure it's multi-layer, which is going to make it. I'm pretty sure it's multi-layer that makes it like it will render frame by frame, so we'll have all the frames in separate. Anyway, this is what I've been making. And alright, I'll change the stream ending. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.